BNC, America's Black News Channel. Watch 15 minutes. Share with everyone. Finally, news that speaks to us.
As the constant onslaught of Russian attacks continues, millions of Ukrainian civilians are fleeing for their lives. Thank you for joining us for the second hour of The World Tonight. I'm Nayyera.
And I'm Kelly Wright. While the Ukrainian president pleads with the West for more assistance, the U.S. and European allies are drawing red lines over how far they are willing to go when staring down Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Chris Wynn has the latest on the growing humanitarian crisis.
As Russian attacks intensify in Ukraine, the humanitarian crisis deepening by the minute.
This horror cannot be endured. I cannot express it. The fear, the crying children.
Ukrainian authorities say at least 21 civilians were killed in a Russian airstrike overnight in the city of Sumy. Several attempts to evacuate civilians failed earlier this week. Western leaders accusing Russian forces of targeting pre-approved safe routes.
Targeting civilians is a war crime, and it's totally unacceptable.
According to the United Nations, nearly 500 civilians have been killed since the war began, but officials believe the number is even higher. More than 2 million refugees have already fled the country.
We have not seen in Europe a crisis escalating so fast since the Second World War.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy attempting to shame the West to save his people.
The fault is with the occupants, but the responsibility is with those who still haven't secured Ukrainian skies from the Russian killers.
But the U.S. and Europe must walk a fine line, facing a nuclear-armed Russia. Tuesday, President Biden amped up economic pressure by banning Russian energy imports, while NATO is still ruling out a no-fly zone.
We have a responsibility to ensure the conflict does not escalate and spread beyond Ukraine.
I'm Chris Wynn for The World Tonight on BNC.
And joining us now is Nola Haynes. She's the West Coast Director at Women of Color Advancing Peace and Security. Nola, good of you to join us this hour. So we're seeing this war unfold, and we're seeing that so many innocent lives are being killed and sent into refugee status, some 2 million already crossing into different countries, mostly Poland. What can be done to stop the invasion from getting worse, or is Putin determined to go all the way through Ukraine? And as the president stated, he may conquer cities, but he will never conquer the will of the people.
Unfortunately, tonight, I think we definitely are looking at a situation where Putin seems committed. He seems committed to go all the way. Now, with NATO forces allying around Ukraine the way that it is, I don't know what his plan is beyond Ukraine, but he definitely does look like he's poised to install a Russian government in Ukraine. And of course, the humanitarian situation, this was one of the things that President Biden and the rest of the administration was warning about if war did happen. It was exactly this humanitarian crisis. And then, also I want to remind people that we are still dealing with a humanitarian crisis with Afghanistan, and we are still dealing with a humanitarian crisis with Haitians who were turned away at our borders because of people migrating out of their countries due to the pandemic. So we are dealing with multiple humanitarian crises. And right now with the situation in Ukraine, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, not only do we have a humanitarian crisis, but we're also going to have a gender imbalance crisis too, because the men have to stay behind to fight, and then the women and children leave and go elsewhere. So these are layered crises that we are looking at. And honestly, I wish that I could tell you what I think Putin is thinking. I think perhaps he is thinking that he has intimidated the rest of the world to the point where he will be heard, that they will let him have Ukraine and let him rebuild this kind of USSR that he wants to recreate, but that won't happen. What will happen is that the Ukrainian people will suffer greatly, and so will the Russians. That's the only two things that are happening right now in this moment.
Well, I have a trick question for you. Russia was part of the Syrian attacks on people, which created a refugee crisis there. Now Russia is part of, is the reason why there's a refugee crisis in Ukraine. What is the difference in either situation when it comes to world reaction?
Well, that's a great question. Let's just not beat around the bush. Identity is a huge part of what's going on. And I will say, though, I want to make sure that we understand the Syria situation very different from the Ukraine situation. And the reason why the West is heavily involved is because if Putin does go beyond Ukraine, we really are looking at a 1939 moment. In the Syrian example, it wasn't that exact same thing. And that is the stark difference that I want to make in terms of just strategy and geopolitics and region and location. However, we cannot at the same time forget that there are tons of people from browner countries, blacker countries that are also suffering from a lot of civil war and displacement, even in our own situation with Afghanistan, the role that we played. So absolutely, identity is front and center in this situation with the African students at the border, with Brittany Griner. The way that disinformation and misinformation plays in that whole identity piece that we still haven't figured out here in the U.S., it is really, really, really making the situation exponentially worse because no one has dealt with identity issues. And in my personal opinion, this is what's causing the fissures. And Vladimir Putin knows all too well that we have multiple race problems in the United States, and he is absolutely going to exploit those.
Exacerbating them is what he's been doing with the Africans held in Ukraine and finding their way to freedom the hard way. And then, of course, Brittany Griner. And then you look at what you were talking about in terms of Syria, but he did do the same kind of thing in Chechnya. So we're aware of his evil and the personification of his evil. The question is the world ready to stand up to that kind of evil and stop him before he goes any further into some of the other neighboring countries?
I think that's a great question. I mean, because this is like his fourth example of some sort of invasion since 1999. So clearly he has something up his sleeve, and the world is paying attention to the situation in Ukraine. Not that the world wasn't paying attention in 2014. I think that the way in which transparency worked in this situation also played a very different role, which is why you have the security alliance from all the, from Western states, unlike the situation in 2014. But I think because, of what happened in 2014, and that did not seem to deter Putin to continue what he's doing now, the rest of the world had to really take this seriously. The rest of the world could not just think that this was some insane person in Russia blowing smoke. He's not blowing smoke. He's killing people. He illegally invaded Ukraine. He is not blowing smoke. He has made multiple nuclear threats. So this man is not blowing smoke, and he's not crazy, and he's not irrational. We just have to understand what it is that he wants and the way that he's thinking about things. And in my personal opinion, a lot of this is he has imperial motives. He wants those territories back to reconfigure the USSR, and he wants this legacy. He's getting up in age, and he wants this legacy of this reunification of the Soviet Union. And it seems to me that he's doing it by any means necessary.
Nola, the person you describe in Vladimir Putin is dangerous, especially when backed into a corner. Nola Haynes, West Coast Director at Women of Color Advancing Peace and Security, thank you for joining us.